Hi there, this is Ranjit and I have been using this Samsung Galaxy S5 for the last 3-4 days, and I found a lot of interesting shortcuts and tips, and I'm going to share my top 10 tips and tricks for the Galaxy S5. And the first one is this S Finder. Now we have this integrated, and this is a universal search. For example, just I entered S and it just showed me everything from S. For example, first it shows you the app and contacts, etc. Screenshots you have taken, whatever. So it's pretty handy, and you can customize it. You can go to the settings, and here you can select the categories from where it actually gets the data from. So it's kind of handy if you're just quickly trying to look at something. And for example, let's say you just booked a ticket or something, you saved it on your phone, you don't know, you just type the ticket and it'll give you a list. So that's pretty handy. Next, let me show you this. Using this is the standard messaging app, and if you notice, the font size is actually pretty small, and you can adjust it actually using this volume rocker. For example, let me show you. If you just press the plus button, as you can see, it is increasing. So this is pretty handy. And again, let me open this message, and it works inside the messages also like this. So it's pretty handy. I like to keep it pretty small, but if you quickly want to change it, you can easily do it via this volume rocker. Next step is, if you have used any Samsung device, this is not for S5, you notice that when you press this home button, there is a certain delay. There is a half a second delay or something before it responds. And the reason for that is with many of the Samsung phones, even with this S5, the S Voice is enabled for double tap. If you double tap, S Voice activates. But I would suggest, if you don't use the S Voice a lot, just go to the settings and uncheck this option of opening it via the home key. Now we have disabled it. Now if you notice, if you just press the home button, it instantly reacts, and this makes your S5 a lot more responsive in my opinion. Now the next step is this My Magazine. If you scroll towards the left, you get to this My Magazine, and this is kind of a flipboard kind of a thing, and it might be useful for some people. But let's say you don't like this. I actually do not use this a lot. This is an easy way to disable it. If you just do this pinch gesture, you can adjust your home screens, etc. But if you go to this home screen settings here, you can just uncheck this, and now you notice the My Magazine is gone. Another setting is, and I have seen this only on S5, is cloud backup. Actually, if you go to users and backup, you see this option of cloud, and here you have to just enter your Samsung account, and you can now back up your device. For example, in sync settings, you can go and check what are the things that you want to sync. For example, your contacts, your calendar, and even it actually backs up your messages, etc. So you can just hit this backup, and as you can see, it will back up the phone logs, messages, etc. So this is a handy feature, I would say, and I would like to see this feature in future Samsung phones also, and this way you can easily back up your device. Now we also get this fingerprint scanner with this S5. You just unlock it. I have enabled it, and you just swipe it and you can unlock it. But by default, the accuracy is not that great. I would say I was getting around 40 to 50% time the accuracy, but you can actually improve it a lot. Actually, Samsung allows you to add up to 3 what do you say, let me go to the tab view. It's and here, if I go to the fingerprint scanner, actually Samsung allows you to add up to 3 fingers. But to improve the accuracy, for example, my thumb I have used, I would suggest that you again scan the same finger again, and that improves the accuracy. For example, let's add that. See, again, sometimes it happens. And now I'm going to register one more finger, and I'm going to register the same finger. By default, what you'll do is you'll just swipe it like this, but I would say that swipe it slightly in this curved angle also the second time you do, because normally when you unlock it, you might not do it perfectly like this, and this will improve the accuracy. Now the second this finger also, that's the same for us, has been enabled. Now if I unlock, even slightly doing like this sideways, it will unlock. So this improves the accuracy of
netcasts you love
from people you trust.
This is Twit.
And this this one is from Jason.
Hello.
Jason from All About Android.
How's it
Hello.
going?
It's going great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
I'm so happy you made it here today without getting pulled over.
Yeah, although I will say when I got pulled over, it was because of the phone I'm going to
That's
review.
right.
Well, no, it was because I was stupid, but I happened to be holding the phone that I'm going to review today.
California law says no handheld devices while you're driving.
I wasn't driving. Well, okay, I wasn't driving. I was at the stop.
And you were
But I
flinging
was
it
in the
around
car in the
taking
driver's
pictures.
seat, flailing it about, taking pictures
You
of my
got some
kid.
good photos.
I got some great photos. It
So
captured
we'll
a
see
good moment.
We'll see your pictures in just a few minutes, but you've been playing with this for about a week.
Yeah, so this is the Samsung Galaxy S5, and yeah, I've been playing with it for the past week, and I mean, it's a pretty large and in-charge phone, as you can see here.
It is
it's
big.
$199 on contract. You can get it for $599, no contract. And just to kind of go through some of the quick specs here, and oh, by the
Ooh,
way, fingerprint scanner,
reader.
right? There
Cool.
you go. 2500 millihertz quad-core Snapdragon 801, and I gotta say, this phone flies when you're using it. Games, whatever you happen to be doing with it, everything's super snappy and fluid. Has 2 gigs of RAM, a 5.1-inch full HD Super AMOLED screen with 431 pixels per inch.
That's pretty.
It has 16 gigs of storage built in. That gets trimmed down to about 10 gigs of usable storage, a little bit more than that when you're talking about, TouchWiz and software enhancements on the top of that. But they kind of make up for it because the micro SD card slot can hold up to 128 gigs of storage. So you can go nutso on storage on this thing if you want. 16 megapixel rear-facing camera. It's actually capable of recording 4K video.
Oh,
and
cool.
I have some samples we'll get to here in a second. 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera. Has a 2800 milliamp hour battery underneath here. Let me pull
and you
this
can
open.
replace it just like their old ones.
Yes, you can replace it. And the way that they did this, I think, and I'm sure this is the way it is on the S4, I can't remember by taking a look, but the battery is really long and slim. Now, the phone is very large, but it's also very thin. I'm pretty happy with kind of the size that they were able to get on the design here. And that's, of course, a lot of times manufacturers will say, we don't want to put in a removable battery because it's going to bulk up the phone and everything.
Right.
Samsung really did a good job balancing that and just making a long, slim battery that still keeps the phone very slim and
Now,
thin.
you're a pretty hardcore user, would you say?
Oh, well, I try to be. I certainly try to be, yes.
Does the phone last for you all day?
That's definitely a big key bonus about this device. 2800 milliamp hour battery, and they have a lot of really great power management enhancements. Actually, when it gets down to 10%, it'll kick into this kind of like monochrome low usage mode that extends up to 24 hours longer.
Wow.
By just giving you calls and texts.